Once upon a time, in the little town of Green Meadows, lived a boy named Luke who was as lively as a spring breeze. Luke was an adventurous 8-year-old with tousled brown hair and bright blue eyes that twinkled when he smiled. Luke had a best friend, a cheerful and mischievous hamster named Whiskers. Whiskers wasn't just any hamster, he had a knack for finding trouble in the most unexpected places. With his soft golden fur and tiny paws, Whiskers was adored by everyone in the family, despite his naughty antics. One sunny afternoon, as the golden rays of sunshine warmed the earth, Luke decided to take Whiskers out in the garden. He had a plan to build a mini adventure park in a corner of their backyard, complete with tunnels, ramps, and little patches of clover. As Luke busied himself arranging cardboard tubes and little ramps, Whiskers sniffed the air, sensing a new opportunity for one of his little escapades. Without warning, he scampered off, his tiny legs carrying him swiftly across the lawn. Luke turned around just in time to see the tip of Whiskers' tail disappear into a shrub. "Whiskers, where are you going?" Luke called, half laughing, half worried. Whiskers was on a mission. He squeezed under the garden gate with surprising agility and found himself in the neighbor's garden, a mysterious place full of adventures waiting to be had. The neighbor, Mrs. Henderson, was a kind old lady with a beautiful garden filled with flowers and a little pond where golden fish swam lazily. Curious Whiskers, ever the explorer, trotted boldly towards the pond. He paused, intrigued by the shimmering scales of the fish. Meanwhile, Luke, having discovered the missing hamster, called out over the fence, "Mrs. Henderson, have you seen Whiskers? He's up to his tricks again." "Oh, the cheeky little fellow," Mrs. Henderson chuckled, looking out from her window. "I think he's taken a liking to my koi pond." Luke, with Mrs. Henderson's permission, tiptoed into her garden. He found Whiskers at the pond's edge, almost mesmerized by the colorful fish. "Come on, you rascal," Luke said gently, picking Whiskers up and giving him a little cuddle. Whiskers, however, had one more trick up his furry sleeve. As Luke carried him back to their garden, Whiskers somehow managed to wriggle free. He darted towards a nearby pile of autumn leaves that had been gathered up but not yet disposed of. Laughing, Luke sprinted after him. When he found Whiskers, the hamster was playfully burrowing into the leaves, making them rustle and dance. Luke watched for a moment, then joined in, tossing the leaves into the air and letting them fall like a gentle shower. Finally, as the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Luke and Whiskers returned home. "You really are a little troublemaker," Luke said, smiling fondly as he placed Whiskers back into his cozy cage. That night, as Luke lay in bed, he thought about his fun-filled day with Whiskers. "I wouldn't change you for the world," he whispered, as Whiskers settled into his bedding, ready to dream of their next adventure. In Green Meadows, life was always full of surprises, and with a hamster as cheeky as Whiskers, tomorrow promised another day full of fun and mischief. And Luke knew, no matter what, they would face those adventures together, as the best of friends.